Karma, Collapse, and Consequences. Welcome back. I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is Mind Over Matter, From Host to Hunter, the series where you learn how to become the warlord of your mind. People often imagine karma as a ledger kept by the universe, a mystical bookkeeping of good and bad deeds tallied somewhere in the clouds. That cartoon version is comforting because it feels slow, distant, and abstract. But the real thing, whether you frame it as spiritual law, systemic feedback, or psychological inevitability, is neither slow nor abstract. It is brutal, precise, and inescapable. Actions generate consequences, not just internally, but in networks of people and events. Those consequences may not look like lightning bolts, but over time, they erode, collapse, and expose everything built on predation. If earlier chapters in this series taught the reader how to recognize and defend against invisible war, this chapter shows them why the predators inevitably implode. When you strip away metaphors, karma is simply cause and effect extended across time and hidden variables. In systems theory, it's feedback loops. In neuroscience, it's Hebb's law. Neurons that fire together wire together. In ethics, it's sowing and reaping. The ancient texts personified it as gods or cosmic judges, but they were pointing to a pattern observable in daily life. Sustained harmful action eventually turns on its author because reality is interlinked. A manipulative leader exhausts their followers and loses capacity. A liar builds networks of lies that require more lies until the whole edifice collapses. An abuser trains their own nervous system to chaos, paranoia, and hypervigilance until their body and mind become their own prison. The punishment is built into the practice. This is why they attacked spiritually and their material worlds crumbled, is not mystical wish fulfillment, but a sober observation. When someone builds their power on draining others, whether through gossip, black magic, smear campaigns, or systemic exploitation, they set up a chain reaction. At first, it seems to work. They gain influence, siphon energy, bend outcomes. But each act creates invisible liabilities. People who no longer trust them, bodies that break under the stress of constant manipulation, environments poisoned by their own tactics. Like living on credit, the appearance of power hides an accumulating debt. When the bill comes due, it looks like sudden collapse, loss of health, exposure of secrets, implosion of networks. In reality, the collapse began the moment the exploitation began.